In case you're wondering, no, the grass has not finished spreading over here. Welcome back, everyone, to Create Dinosaurs, episode 53, where we are going to be continuing our work on the T-Rex enclosure, and I'm really excited for this build, because, it's an idea that I had last episode. Just, whilst we were working on everything else, it just popped into my head, and I just love it. It's such a good idea. I think it's going to work so well, and I get to build it today. So, without wasting any time, what's our idea? Well, of course, as most of you guys will remember at this point, we plan on putting our T-Rex enclosure somewhere over here, on the opposite side of the aviary to everything else in the park. I genuinely don't think we're actually going to expand further than this. And last episode, we decided to put this path which comes all the way around the aviary, loops up and around back over that cliff, and then it ends just up here. And what I mentioned when we did that is I really love the idea of basically blocking off the view of the T-Rex area from every other point in the park. Basically, unless you are stood here, you cannot see it. Because what that gives us the ability to do is basically right here, in line with the aviary, which is going to be nice, get some little consistency and straight lines in here. What it allows us to do is basically give our park guests a forced perspective of the T-Rex enclosure with a massive view over this amazing landscape that we have here. Bearing in mind it's all going to be terraformed as well. I just realized there's floating islands over there. How did I not realize that before? And the idea is that we bring this path over to here and we put a gate right here so that our guests can walk through and they get this amazing view, and it's gonna be the highlight of the park, and then I'm never gonna be able to achieve anything better than this in my life. Does that make sense? Brilliant. I'm glad that you guys like this idea as much as me. But anyway, so we should probably get on with working on that right now, and I think just like last episode, the first thing which we're going to need to do is just clear a bunch of stuff here, because we've got all this bamboo in the way. Now, we don't need to clear as much as last time, because it's literally just I think we only really need to bring it over to the edge of this cliff here, and maybe just a little bit out of sight over there. Because considering the fact that all of our park guests are going to be on this path and everything, yeah, you can't really see that far over there. So I would say just over to that banana tree or the jungle tree over there. Yeah, we just need to clear a little space like that. So get rid of all the bamboo, get rid of the bushes, the trees, the random dirt that I've left up on top of the bamboo occasionally. And then, yeah, we can get to work with terraforming and working out where paths are going to go after that. So right, let's quickly get this done. Okay, there we go. I've cleared out a bunch of space for us. And I'm gonna be honest, after clearing it out, it feels way more open. I think the bamboo just really crowds up a bunch of stuff, and you sort of forget how much space there actually is here. And genuinely, it's just making me even more sure that the idea of putting the T-Rex enclosure here was perfect. The one thing I will complain about is, especially with some of the mods in this game, gosh, your inventory fills up with such random stuff and a lot of bamboo. But anyway, so we have this nice little cleared out spot here, and what I need to do is basically bring the path over this way, and I think the actual gate is gonna go right here. I'm gonna line it up with the aviary and everything and give it a 1-block center, but yeah, I feel like maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on each side, maybe? I feel like 7 blocks wide is a good width, because it can give us a 5-block wide path plus a little extra block on the side just for some detail and stuff. And also, the reason why I'm going with 5 blocks wide rather than 4 blocks, which is what the majority of our paths are in this world, is because I feel like 5 is just going to be a bit more impressive. But also, in theory, we've got a lot more guests coming up here because it's a T-Rex. Everyone likes the T-Rex. So if we have a high traffic area like this, you kind of want to expand the path out to make it a bit more comfortable. Plus, the extra block in the center just gives me more detail opportunities. So yeah, let's start out our path like that, and I just need to work out how I want to connect it to that. Let's see, can I just get away with, like, a nice smooth curve over here or something? Maybe? Yeah. And then, of course, we can go and do the same on this side. And I think I might just need to flatten out this bit of terrain here. Like, bring all of this up a bit. Come on, let me sleep, let me sleep, let me sleep. The sun's setting. It's almost nighttime. Let me sleep. I don't want more zombies because they keep killing my dinosaurs. So, yeah, with a path like this or something, maybe it's a little wide. I might thin it out on this side, but it definitely does need the terrain to be brought up to match it a bit. Not to mention the cave here. And in fact, something about this cave, why has it got a half-decayed tree in here? Like, what is this? Oh, wait, this was probably lightning. There was a fire over here one time from a lightning storm. Oh. But right, okay, this path needs a little touching up. I'm gonna see if I can improve it. Yeah, there we go. Just trimming off that little, like, one block edge or something just made it a little bit better. And this shouldn't be too difficult to fill in. Yep, I think that's good enough. I definitely need to see what this is going to look like with grass, though, because sometimes just, like, having it as grass actually makes it look really bad. I think once we add in some of the sort of cliffs around the edge, though, it's probably going to be fine. And speaking of the cliffs, that is kind of what we need to work on next. I say kind of because the thing is, we still actually need, like, the proper entrance into the park and stuff. Or not the park, the T-Rex area. But the thing that I keep saying with this entrance is, like, I want it to be a proper gate and everything. A bit like we have at the entrance to the park, which we can't see. You know, proper Jurassic Park gate or something like this, but on a significantly smaller scale and everything, and I really want to put an actual arch over the top. Because the thing is, similar to what we've got here on the bug house, but also probably closer to what I'm talking about with, like, the aquatic area, we have these little, like, diagram, or not diagram, I don't know what to call them, like, no, symbols, that's the word I'm looking for. Like, we've got these nice little symbols on the signs. So, of course, this one's a Mosasaurus, but it's supposed to be, like, the entire aquatic area as a whole and everything. It just kind of fits it better. And then, of course, we've got this one, which is an Arthroplura, but it's just representing, like, the whole bug house as a whole, really. However, the T-Rex, as I have stated several times, is kind of just its own very significant animal, even though I, myself, personally prefer stuff like Spinosaurus. Because the T-Rex is such an iconic thing which is being given its own unique area and everything, I kind of feel like, you know, we need to put a sign for it. But the thing is, most of the signs that I have in this world and everything, they just use the symbols that you get on, like, the eggs or the DNA or something, so the Mosasaurus one is pretty much just identical. But the thing is, of course, the actual T-Rex one isn't that. It's like an actual shape of the dinosaur and everything, which I don't think is gonna look that good up there. I feel like we kind of need to go full-on Jurassic Park with it and put, like, a skull. In which case, I'm going to need to find a pixel art design for a T-Rex skull, because I don't know how to do pixel art. But also, of course, we've still got the question of, like, the open gate and everything, and I think I'm gonna go with dark textures. I was considering something like jungle wood, because, of course, like, this is a much more tropical area. However, I just feel like the dark colors work better, like, significantly. But okay, so as I said, we've got this 5-block wide path, then a gap, and then I think the first block of the gate is gonna be here, and I'm probably gonna do the gate sort of like that, so it's still at a bit of an angle. Ooh, actually though, I kind of feel like maybe it should be angled the other way, which means we're gonna need to change the back of the sign a little bit, otherwise it's gonna be like it's kind of connecting or something, or like phasing through it, if you know what I mean, because if we've got like a massive stone block or something here, then yeah, it's like, how does the door curve that way? I don't know, that's something I'm gonna need to work out in a second, but I feel like if it opens outwards rather than sort of going inwards, we still get that idea of like the gate is open. However, rather than it sort of restricting your view, it's more like, you know, you walk through and suddenly you have a very wide view of the whole area. In which case then, how big is our sort of stone pillars on either side of it? probably about that, maybe 4 blocks or something. So yeah, like, you know, 2 stone pillars coming up, connecting over the top, giving us a little place to put a skull, the doors there. Yeah, that feels good. And I think a nice gradient to use for that sort of stone material is actually going to be very similar to the stuff that we used on the cliffs. Honestly, I might use the same block palette, sort of this tuff to like other tuff to stone to andesite. I feel like that's probably gonna look best. The one thing is, I do literally have the last of my tuff here with me. I've only got like a stack and a bit, plus some extra stuff that I've got in here, so I've got a little bit to work with, but yeah, really not the most. But okay, I think I've spent enough time rambling on about this. I want to get this gate built because there's a bunch of other stuff that I want to do after building the gate, which I really just want to get on with. So I'll see you guys in a second. I'm gonna work out this gate. Okie dokie. I really like the way that looks and stuff. But I am being bothered by these guys. Ow. Ow. Oh my gosh, my axe. Just like that. Yeah, okay, this is definitely giving the impression I want. I would kind of like if more of the gate was visible from here, but if we want the whole, like, opening up to an amazing view or something, we can't have it too visible from back here. So yeah, it looks a little strange, I will admit, but, like, as you come forward and you see that the gate's actually all the way back there, like, yeah, it makes sense. I like it. And if I just put some fences here to sort of look like hinges, then what do I think? I'm not entirely sure, actually. You know what? I'm actually gonna give that decision to you guys. Should I keep the hinges there? Because I genuinely cannot decide if I prefer it with or without. In fact, I'm gonna give you guys a view of, like, both of them, with or without the hinges. I don't know, so I'm just gonna put them there for now, and if all of you guys yell at me in the comments saying that it looks worse, then I will take them out. But okay, so I do still need to do the symbol. However, I think the next thing I'm gonna work on is the actual cliffs over the side here and everything, because this one, in theory, it shouldn't take too long, because over here, it's only gotta be a short cliff and everything. You just need to not be able to see over the edge of it, pretty much. It's basically just like a 4-block high wall. And on this side, not only is there not a path over here, so in theory guests shouldn't be going over here, but it's pretty much the same thing as well, just like a 4-block high wall over to like that tree. So yeah, I think standard block palette and everything. I'm gonna try using cobblestone in this gradient, although I'm not entirely sure if I'm gonna like it. But since it's so short, I'm not actually gonna do this sort of like intentional gradient of dark to light up there and everything, because like it's so short, there's not enough space. So I'm honestly just gonna randomize the blocks. And here we go. Let's hope that we get something that looks decent. And let's see. Yep, honestly, that works. I'm fine with that. Although, I should probably see, what does it look like on this side? Yeah, fine, honestly. Brilliant. So now, the next thing that I want to work on, we are working on, like, a lot of different steps this episode and stuff. Normally, there's not this many little steps on one project. But the next thing which I want to work on is basically, I just want to do, like, the first bit of the path on this side of the gate. Because, of course, as I've mentioned several times now, it's supposed to be you walk through and you get this amazing view over the landscape of everything for the T-Rex enclosure, which is just going to be massive. So I think I just want to quickly do, like, a slight bit of terraforming, not too much, but I want to bring the path down here and just sort of put it at a spot where I think it's going to curve off in both directions. Because the idea is that the T-Rex enclosure, you can just do a massive loop all the way around it. And also, for that whole, like, getting a view over the entire landscape and everything, we kind of need to move the path down a bit with the terrain here, because otherwise, like, if it remains completely flat, of course, most of the enclosure is down there, and you're not going to be able to see it through the floor. So yeah, I just want to quickly put in the path, get an idea of what it's going to look like and everything, and then hopefully it makes it a bit easier to work on this in future as well. So once again, we're going to get some work here. Do I think that like 2 blocks across for 1/2 block down is good enough? I might start it out with 3. So we'll do 3 there, but then after that, we drop it down to 2. I feel like, yeah, it gives it a nice little curve or something. And there we go. I mean, I did say I really just wanted to plan it out quickly and stuff. This is not that much work. As you can see, it took like 5 minutes. And it definitely has shown me that, like, there's not much we can do with the terrain around here without blocking out some of the view and everything. So, honestly, the solution may just be bring the enclosure up a bit. Like, we were already going to need to terraform all of this. So, like, honestly, bringing the entire closure... Oh, my gosh. Well, don't hit me and run away. Honestly, bringing the entire enclosure up is not that much out of the realms of possibility because, also, to be fair, like, as much as I love this view, that's quite far down compared to us. I mean, for reference of coordinates, this is like, what, Y level 67? And we are at Y level 107. And I know that there's security in, like, putting the T-Rex in a lower down area compared to all of the guests and stuff, but, like, that's a bit much. So yeah, honestly, the solution may just be bring the entire enclosure up and you get the same view. Not to mention the fact that we're probably gonna have some decent landscapes on the other side, though, and everything, because as much as the floating islands are cool, not only are they just out of render distance, but also probably breaks the immersion of the park a little bit. But anyway, that is enough talking about that. We are on to the final detail. And the one which, honestly, I have just been putting off as much as possible because, like, I don't know how to make a T-Rex. I mean, like, what does a T-Rex look like? Hold on. I can do something, maybe. Like, I don't know. What about... yeah. There's a reason why I don't do this myself. What if we just put like that? T-Rex. Yeah. Okay, I mean, I'm making progress. It's still not looking the best, but, like, it's getting closer. Just about. I mean, we're getting closer with the shape and everything, but I feel like we're getting further from big, scary T-Rex. Maybe? Guys, genuinely, how do pixel artists do this? I might just have to put something up there and then just, like, wait for someone to go, oh, actually, I've got a better design. Here's how you should do it. If I round it off there. No, that makes it look too much like a herbivore. If I put a slab there, I mean, maybe it looks a little angrier for some reason. What if I put a wall there? Oh. Okay, wait a second. Like that. Oh. Maybe. I'll be honest, I don't think it looks like a T-Rex. But it's the best I can get so far, and I'll be honest, I'm just gonna hope that one of you guys leaves a comment saying, oh, I've got a better design, here's how you should actually do it. Wait a second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Dang it, I've got a... oh, no. I mean, actually, if I just put it on the right-hand side, it might look okay. Maybe. Oh, but it would screw up the wall. But okay, I'm gonna put this in place, and yeah, hopefully just someone gives me a better design, and I can improve it in future. That, or we just leave it to be a bit janky. You know, well, what's a good theme park without some weird, questionable designs? So, if I just go and put it up there, oh gosh, someone please recommend me a better design. But you know what? It's not the worst. Somehow, and I think I'm just gonna leave it there. I don't trust myself to try and make anything better than that. And with that, we're done for today. I really love what we've got here. I'm so excited because genuinely the next stuff to work on, like, over here is the enclosure. Like, I'm just saying, we're getting close. The egg is still sat in my inventory. It is still waiting to hatch, but, like, we are getting really close. So, if you want to see how the rest of this enclosure is going to go, I mean, especially given this building skill right here, you know what? It doesn't look too bad now that I'm looking at it. Maybe I'm just getting used to it. If you want to see how the rest of this enclosure goes, and I guess the rest of the theme park, but who cares about anything other than a T-Rex, even though my beloved Spinosaurus lives down there somewhere, then I don't ask this often, but please consider subscribing. I really love how this project is coming along. I love this world, so, like, if you want to support it, please. But anyway, I am rambling too much, and I hate trying to self-promote, so with that, thank you for watching. Hopefully you have enjoyed, and I will see you all next time. Honestly, it really is growing on me. Maybe I do need to build more janky signs in future or something.